Get ready for a magic carpet ride, because today on Made in Virginia, it's all about the world's most advanced manufacturer of commercial carpeting. No longer finished on unwieldy 12-foot wide rolls, today's most sought-after flooring products are carpet tiles, and the very best are made in Virginia. Made in Virginia is brought to you by At Union Bank and Trust, we salute the dreamers, the thinkers, the doers, the believers, the builders, and the makers. Thanks to your vision, hard work, and innovation, you make Virginia shine. Union Bank and Trust, a partner of Virginia business and a proud supporter of Made in Virginia and Virginia Public Broadcasting. From its very beginning in 1935 as James Lees & Sons Blue Ridge Mill to today as Mohawk Industries Glasgow facility, Mr. James Lees' original motto, quality first, then yardage, continues to be the driving force behind the manufacture of the world's best carpeting. Today, the Glasgow facility has a whopping 37 acres under roof. It sits on a total of 110 acres in the heart of Virginia's Blue Ridge Mountains, adjacent to the James and Maury Rivers with a rail line and nearby highway system. But it's not the geographical advantages or infrastructure that has helped this mill endure the Great Depression, a world war, and fluctuating global markets. It is the workforce, cut from the very same cloth that James Lees found here in 1935. These mill workers are second to none, embodying the Virginia tradition for hard work and sharing a deep-rooted common thread of appreciation for quality.
When James Lees & Son, which was the original builder of this facility, originally based in Pennsylvania, and they were looking to expand and build another facility, so they followed the Appalachian Mountains south. And at the time, this plant was designed to be a woven and a wool plant. So they were looking for a couple key things, one being water, another being access to rail, and then the third was having an available workforce. So as they came down the Appalachian Mountains, they settled on Glasgow. In Glasgow, you have the Maury River and the James River merge to go on to the Chesapeake Bay. So we had water. We have a major rail spur behind the plant that goes up and down the East Coast, so they had rail. And then there was no large manufacturing to speak of back in the early 30s in this area. And so they had an available workforce that was eager and looking for a way to supplement their income or switch and make this their full-time commitment.
We design all our products ourselves, our headquarters in Georgia, but everything here is manufactured from beginning to end, so it's what we call a four-wall plant where basically our backing, our components, our yarn, and everything's assembled and finished here and go through, and it basically ships all around the world. So here in Glasgow, Virginia, we make every component that comes with it. We put them together, we tuft them, and we back them, and basically we ship them around the world.
When you think about, most of the commercial carpet is installed at your larger metropolitan areas. So in order to install broadloom carpet, for example, say in a very tall 30-story building, they have to put a crane on the roof, they have to take out the windows, raise the carpet, stop traffic, raise the carpet from the street, in through the windows, remove all the furniture to do the installation. With carpet tiles, which we manufacture in two predominant sizes, 24 by 24 inches and 12 by 36 inches, you're able to just take the pallet of carpet tiles, use the service elevator to go up to the appropriate floor, and then once there, you don't even have to remove the furniture. They have lift kits, so they can do the whole installation with minimal disruption to our customer.
So in this plant in Virginia, we make 95% of our carpet tile that goes around the world. It's distributed in 160 different countries and just makes a great product. And we have different versions of it, but basically what you see in workplace, hotels, any office environment, or even schools, you'll see our products out of this facility in Glasgow.
So what goes into making the world's most sought-after commercial carpet? The main process is called tufting. But before the tufting begins, you first must have yarn, nylon yarn, and for this mill, you need plenty of it. Let's follow the process of the undyed yarn. First, it is loaded onto a creel. A creel is a frame with numerous arms or skewers that holds the spools of thread or yarn, lining them up for the next stage in the production process. From there, the yarn is run through a dye applicator that sprays the color onto the yarn. Various colors at varying lengths depending on the design are sprayed as the yarn moves rapidly down the line across the jet sprayers. The dyed yarn is coiled and then heated under pressure to set the dye. The yarn is then transferred to an accumulator to allow for a continuous process of separating the yarn into single strands at high speeds. The separated strands are then wound onto cones, which, when completed, are doffed out and stored until they are needed for tufting. Some yarns, depending on the design of the final product, are twisted. Here, two strands are made into one. There are three tufting processes, which are determined for the most part by the design for the final product and categorized by size. A creel, which is the smallest unit, a mini beam, and a large beam. Tufting is the process where individual or twisted strands of yarn are sewn through a primary backing material to create continuous loops of nylon thread. Tufting is done at right around 1,000 revolutions per minute.
When you look up, you see, like you say, a big spider web, and it's coming from the creel. We peg on bobbins about yay big, 20, 15-pound bobbins, and they feed the machine.
So tufting machines are basically wide sewing machines. And in fact, that's how the whole industry got started, is with Singer sewing machines and lined up. And so basically we feed yarn to a needle, a sewing needle. That yarn is, the needle grabs the yarn, it then penetrates what we call the primary backing, which is in place to hold those what we call tufts of yarn. And so as the yarn through the needle goes through the primary backing, it makes a loop when it comes back up. And there's a particular piece of equipment called a looper that grabs that loop and holds it as the needle gets pulled back up through the tufting machine.
This is just a bigger sewing machine that you use to do your laundry with, or your clothes, or anything like that. This one's just got one end for one needle. And when it goes through the backing, the looper picks it up, holds it in that one position. And if your motor is fast, that's where it leaves it. If it's slower, it'll pull it back to the exact height that you want on your carpet.
And then that backing is advanced, and it all happens very, very quickly. Today, our machines have machines that run in the 700 to 1,000 RPMs, very, very high-speed tufting equipment, and so it happens. Then, in addition to that, controlling the yarn, we actually have computer programs and feed rollers that are computer controlled that feed a set amount of yarn, and that's how the different designs are created.
A tufted roll, when completed, will be roughly 300 feet in length. The tufted rolls are joined together to make a 600 to 900 foot roll. The top or carpet side of the roll is coated with a proprietary stain and soil-resistant treatment. The backside is coated in a latex formula to lock in the loop. The now nearly completed carpet is dried in a large industrial natural gas oven. A pole truck then picks up the carpet, where it is sent to be backed. Two backing methods are available: the ICT, a PVC-based plastisol backing, and the NXT, a PVC-free extruded backing.
The pre-coat that we refer to, it holds the tufts in place. It does probably 80–85% of the work. The backings kind of finish off the other 15% to hold it in place so that it doesn't come apart on the floor. The other thing that's important for carpet tiles is dimensional stability. So the two backing layers, in conjunction with the fiberglass reinforcing scrim that's between those two layers, work together to make a stable carpet tile that won't shrink and won't curl when it's installed on the floor.
For the plastisol backing, two coats are applied, with a fiberglass scrim sandwiched between the two layers. The carpet with its backing is then fused in ovens. Once fused, it is rolled onto an A-frame and sent to the cutting line. The NXT extruded method for backing is very similar to the plastisol method. For the NXT backing, thermoplastic polymer pellets are fed into extruders.
So we bring in compounded pellets to this facility, and those pellets are a blend of different plastics and fillers. So we feed those to our extruders, and in those extruders, the pellets are melted and conveyed down along the extruders. When they exit the extruders, they exit in the form of approximately a 6-foot wide sheet of molten plastic that we then laminate in two different layers to the pre-coated carpet.
The thermopolymer NXT backing is applied with a fiberglass sheet sandwiched between the two coats. It is then cooled and sent for cutting and packing. The now finished 6-foot wide carpet is fed into a die press, which stamps out, with every rotation of the press, 6 24 by 24 inch tiles. This is a crucial step, which requires precision cuts because these carpet tiles must be perfectly square when lined up for installation. The tiles are then sent down the line for a final visual inspection. Once approved, the tiles are packed face to face and back to back on a flip stacker. The tiles are boxed, shrink wrapped, and labeled. Mohawk ships over 19 million square yards of carpet tiles all over the world, so the packaging needs to be secure and executed in a highly efficient manner with perfect consistency, tile after tile, box after box, and pallet after pallet. Once packed, a robotic arm stacks them onto a pallet, where they are transported to the warehouse ready to be shipped. A global supplier of commercial-grade flooring, Mohawk Industries continues to thrive through its creativity, innovation, and just plain know-how right here in Virginia.
In the commercial space, sustainability is critical. In this plant here in Virginia, we have some leading products, okay, some innovative products. We actually have the first living pedal certified carpet tile in the world. And also we have some of the top design products in the world, the most sustainable products, red list free products. Everybody wants to be in a better environment, safe environment. They want us to make sure in the industrial sector we use all the right chemicals and the right processes to make our products. We always have an eye to the future to make sure we have the best of the best, and our Glasgow associates do a great job of it.
Through the creation of lichens and specifying red list-free materials and procedures in its production, this Virginia carpet manufacturer is now the world's leader, offering a truly sustainable flooring product.
During that process, what you're trying to do is minimize the footprint that you create when you manufacture that product, and then create a larger handprint. And you're right, we are the only flooring manufacturer in the world to create an environmentally sustainable product that meets those goals. And that's done right here in Virginia.
Mohawk actually recycles over 6 billion plastic bottles a year. And if you really think about that, every time you take a drink of water, a lot of people just throw them away, or they think, well, recycling doesn't really do anything. But Mohawk is consolidating all that work at the local level, people just putting them in a bin, Mohawk, that's where they go. They go to companies like Mohawk for 6 billion bottles a year, and they make the carpet that we're standing on.
Not only is Mohawk's Glasgow facility leading the way with innovative, award-winning technologies and products, they are also deeply involved in grassroots, regional, and statewide environmental efforts. They manage beehives and produce honey on the property, have created wildlife habitats, and are the founding members of the Chesapeake Bay Foundation's Business for the Bay.
It starts with our employees. Having an engaged employee base is the key to making a quality product. Our single best asset is our employees. The equipment we have here, the processes, the products we make, can all be done anywhere within the company or outside of the company. The key to Glasgow and the reason why it's been here for more than 80 years is our employees.
We're very lucky here. Our associates of Virginia do some very unique things. We actually have our own beehives where we call Mo Honey, and going through that we actually give back to our customers when they come, and just trying to make the environment better and more sustainable around it. And also, it's not only about making product, it's also how we involve the community and connecting with the community. We're very involved with the schools, the high schools that are in the area. Anytime we can give back and contribute, we really make sure it's a point of emphasis. And we support our associates. We're lucky enough to have 800 associates here in Virginia, so we're very focused on, hey, whatever their passion is and however we can impact it positively, we make sure we support them in that area.
People really put pride in their work, and they are really enjoying working here. To see that your product is in showrooms, in stores, I mean, that makes you really feel good. And me personally, when I go and I know what carpet looks like, when I go to a restaurant, hotel, I'm looking down at the carpet and I said, that's our brand. So it makes you feel good. It really does.
Well, I think what's interesting right now for Virginia, actually, this is our center of excellence for carpet tile. We're expanding the capabilities of the business globally, so this is the hotbed and the thought process for a lot of innovation and so on. We have some new innovative products I'm not totally able to talk to yet, but that you'll see us go through and launch in the coming months and years that will push the envelope. But the future is bright. There's so much potential in Virginia. There's so much potential with our Glasgow associates to really take it to the next level, and we have tremendous momentum. So you'll see more investment for sure, and you also see expansion most likely in the facility.
Mohawk Industries could locate a facility like the Glasgow plant anywhere in the world, so there must be a very good reason why Mohawk continues to develop, innovate, and prosper right here in Rockbridge County, Virginia.
It's interesting. You look at, Glasgow, Virginia is this beautiful valley all around you, and it's really unique in the setting. It's not your typical industrial setting. This site was, decided upon 80 years ago. It was the right thing at the time. It could have been easy to go somewhere else in the world, to be honest with you, but with the quality associates and the craftsmanship we have here, we decided to invest significantly, in particular the last 5 years. If you look at actually most of the equipment, Tufting equipment is all brand new. It's been invested in the last 5 years. Our NXT product is about the same thing also. So it's constant innovation, and our associates are very creative here in Glasgow, Virginia. They do some very unique things that are just simply not done in the other places around the world. So leveraging that is critical, and just tapping their knowledge and their commitment to get us to the next level is just great.
It feels good to come from a small town area and making carpet, tile, laminate floorings. For the people here, I'm proud to be from Rockbridge County and honored to work for Mohawk, providing this for people all over the country.
Right here in Virginia, we have, in Rockbridge County and Glasgow, Virginia, we have some of the most wonderful recreational outdoor opportunities in the country, and in my opinion, the world. That's why I live here. And Mohawk sits right at the confluence of the Maury River and the James River. We recently just celebrated the Upper James River Trail and Blueway, and its designation as a Virginia Scenic River. And Mohawk's been tremendous in all those. They are so environmentally minded when protecting the rivers that they are adjacent to.
We're a rural community. We're located off Interstate 81 in the Blue Ridge Mountains, but it's a beautiful area. It's a small, still a lot of agriculture, a lot of farms in the area. We're bordered by the Blue Ridge Parkway and the Appalachian Trail. So it's very important that we're a good community partner in this pristine natural environment.
Mohawk being here is really huge for us. They've been here for 80 years. I always like to talk about the fact that when they were looking to expand and trying to get more of an East Coast presence, they discovered Glasgow. It was right on the Maury River, so they had a great water supply. And they had a time in our country when a lot of the farming community was looking for something else to do, so they had a ready labor force. So they've been here for 80 years. They're just a solid industry, starting off with Lee Carpets, Burlington Industries, and now Mohawk. One of the things that we also like to talk about is the fact that we have multi-generational families that have been working here, so they've supported the town of Glasgow. So, it's just such a stable environment for us, and it's something that, we hope we can rely on for hopefully another 80 years.
Why Virginia? The quality of the employees, the knowledge and the craftsmanship of the associates here, and they also care. One thing we do when we bring customers from all around the world to Virginia, they come see the product, they come see the associates. This is one of our biggest selling points, seeing how engaged and committed our employees are on getting it right for them and their projects. You look at this, these products leave here, leave Virginia, and they go China, they go to India, they go to Australia, and you can have no issues, right? If you go to a project of that type, it has to be first class, and you're talking about some of the biggest projects out there. Amazon's headquarters, Google's facility, Morgan Stanley. You're talking about a who's who of corporate America in the world, so it has to be done right first time.
Since the mill's founding in 1935, the highly skilled mill workers here have embraced James Lee's motto of quality first, then yardage. And that legacy continues today with innovative, award-winning 21st century products, all made right here in Virginia. Arlington, Virginia is home to the largest office building in the world, the Pentagon. In fact, the U.S. Capitol could fit into just one of the building's 5 sides. How many square yards of carpet would it take to cover the total floor area? A. 165,000, B. 20,000, C. 5,000, or D. 400,000 square yards? The answer right after this. Made in Virginia is brought to you by At Union Bank and Trust, we salute the dreamers, the thinkers, the doers, the believers, the builders, and the makers. Thanks to your vision, hard work, and innovation, you make Virginia shine. Union Bank and Trust, a partner of Virginia Business and a proud supporter of Made in Virginia and Virginia Public Broadcasting. The answer: A. The Pentagon, headquarters of the U.S. Department of Defense, contains 165,000 yards of floor space. Mohawk's Glasgow facility creates enough carpet in 1 year to carpet the Pentagon 100 times. That's 19 million square yards of carpet in a single year. Tune in next time on Made in Virginia as we unearth one of the Blue Ridge Mountain's natural treasures. It's Virginia basalt. We call it Virginia greenstone, and it is the essence of today's most sought-after surface for clay tennis courts. Follow the precious Virginia greenstone as it is transformed by Hartrue in Troy, Virginia, into the world's best courts. Next time on Made in Virginia. If you would like to learn more about today's episode or suggest a Virginia manufacturer for the program, you may visit us at madeinvirginia.tv and at wvpt.net.